Hello and welcome to With Kaden. That's me on CentralValleyTalk.com. And there's been a lot on the news lately. I like to talk about different things, usually something more uplifting, but there's a virus going around that's hurting a lot of people, and I'm in that classification of people who have to be very careful. Sunday I was watching the news and they were really pushing on social distancing. I had a different craft originally planned, so yesterday I quickly reshuffled things around because one of the problems with social distancing is that we're not getting a chance to really visit with our family and friends. But there is a way I thought of, and something I like to do anyway, sending cards. And we're going to decorate a whole bunch of cards very cheaply, very affordably is the word, I guess. And I have a great guest to help me with this. And you'll notice there's a little bit of extra distance between us. I would like to introduce Jenny Garson with Teens That Care. And as you'll see, we have some distance, not quite 6 feet, but we have some distance. And we both were very careful to make sure everything was cleaned before we started working. And I would normally shake hands or stuff, but hello.
Hi, how are you? I know I'm a hugger kisser, and so it's hard for me not to walk in and naturally embrace you and say hi.
And we've known each other for a little while, so yes, so she's not a total stranger. But yes, it would have been very welcomed. Unfortunately, it's not something we're going to do today. But we are going to be making cards. Everything that's here on this table is stuff from my craft space. I did not buy anything, but I'm going to tell you where I did buy a lot of the stuff. And check out your dollar stores. Check out stores like Big Lots and Michael's too, because you can find a lot of this very, very affordably. And it's, I don't know, I like getting mail that isn't a bill. What about you, Jenny?
Well, mail is something that is kind of infrequent now because no one reaches out by mail anymore. So I do like getting mail, but it's more my Joann's coupons is the only thing I look forward to these days.
Oh, I do love those coupons. They are great. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to make a bunch of decorated cards. And you're going to take things like this that are, I bought these in bulk, like 100 of these cards, very plain. Or I bought cards that actually had nothing on them, and we're going to decorate them so that we can send them off. Oh, here's the plain ones. And they're white, but we're going to make them not so white. And you can put on buttons so that you have a little garden effect, or punch out some paperwork and add something to it. And I even drew in a leaf stem. But one thing I'll make you a recommendation if you're going to do this type of decorating, write on the back of it before you glue something over it that you have to write on, because then it makes the writing very illegible. I knew I could come up with a word. So think about what you're decorating and what it is. Also, think about decorating the envelope to go with it. Why not? Have a little bit of fun. Again, you're only limited by your imagination. I've got a hole punch over there that we can now write an address in here. And just add a little ribbon to a plain card. And I got this stack of cards, like 10 of them, or this one I think it was a pack of 25, for about $2, $2.50. Very affordable. And I'm using stuff that's around my house and around my sewing room. And yes, this is one of my stickers for my Cricut maker. But I also did a little stenciling here on this one. Love on the back and enjoy and believe on the front. Again, this is with a stamp on the back. You're limited by your imagination. So have a little bit of fun. And Jenny, you and I are going to start creating. Okay. And I want you to use anything that's on this table. I've got pencils, and I have to admit this is not all the colored pencils I have. I have gel pens, and I have some more colors down here if you need them. There's scrapbook scissors, and I have a lot more down here. And you've got scrap paper. You've got all fun little details. This is some of your three-dimensional stuff. And if you are putting in some of the heavier buttons like this, you will pay a little bit extra for the postage. So just be aware of that. but it really makes for a really pretty card. Don't you think that's kind of a cool idea?
That's very cute.
So, and then if you're going to just write a letter on regular stationery, decorate it with stamps and write on it. There are ribbons, there's stamps,
Okay.
there's pads, there's washi tape, whatever and we've got,
You'll see how uncrafty I really am.
trust me, it's really easy. If you're going to put paper on paper, you're going to
Okay.
use your glue sticks. If you're going to put ribbon, you might want to go more with a tacky glue.
Mhm.
And if you're going to go with a button, go with the heavier craft glue.
Okay.
Okay, that's pretty much the only rules. I've got cardstock, I have scrap paper, I have buttons, I have hole punches, I've got all sorts of doodads.
Okay.
And if you want to go a little three-dimensional, I've got two-sided tape too.
Okay.
So
Wow, you have it all.
I'm a major crafter.
Okay.
So let me give you a couple of the plain ones to
That sounds
just
good.
start playing with.
You know, one of the things we were discussing, Teens at Care, since we've had to shut down doing a lot of volunteer operations right now because of our social distancing and all that good stuff, is sending cards and letters to senior citizens in rest homes that aren't getting visitors. Just sending, they said you could just send it to, address it to senior or dear senior. Also the veterans in the veterans hospitals that aren't getting visitors either. So
That's really important.
if you don't have someone that you're specifically thinking about, you can always send to just anybody that would love to get a card.
Why not do half a dozen cards with some inspirational notes inside, put them in a larger envelope, and address to the residents of
Right.
the VA hospital, the VA home, or maybe any senior center that's near you. And I know that you
Yeah.
work with different senior centers as well, and with different schools.
Yes.
You got to hear about this program. It's wonderful. My sister-in-law Lori Thomas got me involved and got them involved with Cases for Kids, which you all know about, which I have to talk about. And you did a big drive for me one day. Oh my gosh, my husband's pickup truck was overflowing. The cab was full.
Yeah.
The kids really did a great job.
Yeah.
They're hardworking kids.
Yeah.
And where do you find these kids?
So currently we have 75 high school students that are members of our organization, and they are 9th through 12th grade students. When we started it off, it really was a mixture of just our children and their friends, because that's who we reached out to first. Now it has grown. We have students from almost every school district, including we have a couple of homeschool kids. They're involved as well. So it really doesn't matter. We would like to have students from every high school involved. It mostly was Clovis North kids at the beginning because, again, it was our own children and their friends, but it really has expanded. We have San Joaquin Memorial, Bullard, Clovis West, Buchanan, and I said some homeschool kids too. So it's exciting to see that.
And you are a 501c3 nonprofit.
We are officially a 501c3.
I was at one of their very first meetings when they were still recruiting people, and it was so exciting. And if Facebook, they have a wonderful page. They do a lot of stuff with the Fresno Police Department PAL program.
We do, yeah,
And the
police
school
activities
district.
and Fresno PD a lot, and we actually adopted Kirk Elementary, which is in Southwest Fresno, as one of our schools that we do a lot with.
Economically conservative area.
Yeah. And Southwest really is where our heart is too. Just a lot of areas down there that need a lot of outreach, and we do that with the police as well. And we take them out to Mendota. Mendota is 45 minutes from our doorstep, and it's
The kids drive all the way out there.
we drive out there, and I think it's important for our kids to see that 45 minutes away is the most impoverished area in the United States, and it's in our backyard. And to be able to reach out to those, we actually have a senior apartment complex out there that we do a lot with. In fact, we were supposed to have bingo with them just a few weeks ago, and we had to cancel or reschedule it because of all the coronavirus. So we have a lot of things
And
that
they're
we're
in the
rescheduling.
endangered group.
Yes.
So we want to be careful.
Yes.
And I know the kids also do cooking and baking
They do.
for people.
We do.
This group is phenomenal.
Yeah, we've kind of gone all over the place with everything because we try to offer a lot of different opportunities for our kids to do. So we do baking we do it with an organization called Cake for Kids, and it's for foster children. So it's fun
Foster
for
children, a soft spot
right.
of mine.
So it's fun because we get to have the kids come in and do it in our home. They don't get to go and see the foster kids that they're baking for because, that's
The right of privacy.
right. So, but they do it. We have them come to our home, and we'll have like 5 kids, and they'll have a theme. They know the child's name, and they'll bake, and it's fun. It's a fun way for them to bond together, but be doing something like wonderful for somebody else. And then we've done cupcakes and stuff we did cupcakes and took them out to Mendota to the seniors out there for Valentine's Day. We made these cute boxes. They got 4 cupcakes in each box, and we took it out and delivered it to them. And I can't remember how you say it in Spanish, but we did learn how to say in Spanish, Happy Valentine's Day. So because most of the seniors out there speak Spanish, and go out there and we said Happy Valentine's Day and took them their little cupcakes. And it's the seniors out there love us now. When we first started going out there, they thought we were trying to sell them things because we started off with taking individual pumpkin pies at Thanksgiving, and which were so cute. But the first time we were out there, it was trying to get them to understand we're not selling you a pumpkin pie, we're giving you a pumpkin pie. And now they know us, and they're excited to see us, and they love interacting with the kids, and they're really a sweet community out there. Really, and our kids love going out there, and it's 45 minutes each way, but they love it. So it's
Now, how many kids do you have in the program currently?
75.
Now, when can kids register to join the program?
We are currently accepting applications.
Okay.
So
Pay
applications
attention.
are due April 1st. So it's online. It's on our website. It's on our Instagram and Facebook, how to get the application, and you can fill it out. I know on there, they ask for, one of the things they ask for on the application is a letter of recommendation. And I would say, oh my gosh, it'd be kind of hard, but maybe teachers don't have a lot going on. They'll do a letter of recommendation right now. I was
More
going to say
difficult
it's
for
hard for like AP testing and finals and all that stuff to get your letter of rec, but right now it might be a great time to do it. So, but yeah, it's a pretty simple process of filling out the application and sending it in, and then we review them. We have 18 seniors that are graduating. And so,
And do you have a limit of how many students at a time you do?
we really haven't put a limit on it. We want quality kids this is where their heart is. Our organization isn't about a resume builder for college. This is about learning the heart of serving and doing it because you love to do it, not because that's what
It'll look good
on your, and which is so interesting because even with kids, because we have a requirement of 30 hours per year that you're supposed to do.
Okay, 30?
30 hours. And I'm going to grab some of this.
How many kids actually only do 30?
Well,
Because I know some of those kids were doing...
no, that's the thing. Most of them do above and beyond. We have a few that, they're trying to get their hours at the end. And most of the time it's because they're student athletes and they are really crazy, all the time with what they have to do. Did you say what kind of glue do I need for this one?
You might want to use the heavier glue.
But really they don't have a hard time because we offer so many different opportunities and different interests for them from the baking to interacting with seniors or with kids or with the community in general. There's never a shortage of things for them to do and sign up for, but it just comes down to their schedule. And these kids are so busy. I mean, all these kids are great kids that are wonderful students and, like I said, student athletes
Now,
and
do
involved
they
in
have to
other
keep
groups.
a GPA?
We don't have a GPA requirement.
Okay.
Yeah, again, it's the heart of serving, and that doesn't mean that you have to be a 4.0 student, and it doesn't matter what area you come from. There's no financial obligation as well because we never want it to be a financial obligation.
That was another question,
Yeah.
was what is the cost? And by the way, because we are using glue, there is wax paper on our table that was wiped down first, but there is wax paper, so if we get glue, if we get any of the stamp ink down, I'm always telling you about prepping your spaces. We prepped. We're ready.
Okay. Well, I'm glad. But yes, no financial requirement because we want it to be open to anybody of any economic background, and we just want it to be like I said, this is our main goal is to just teach these kids before they get out into the world of adulthood that serving is something that you do from your heart. It doesn't require money or anything. It requires time and just giving of yourself to others.
This one of the things I talk about towards the end of the show is that you find something to feed your heart, and that's where community service comes
Right.
in. I do feed your soul, which is something for yourself. And then you also need to...
It's wine o'clock somewhere.
And I'm a wino.
Me too.
A wine drinker. But you have to feed your soul, you have to feed your heart, and you have to have a circle of friends that have nothing to do with your job. And that's how you can find balance in your life.
Right.
I came from a job that was extremely stressful. And I found by practicing those 3 little traits, I was able to survive 30 years of it. So
Right.
keep that in mind. And then, very good. You said you weren't crafty.
Well, I've only put a piece of ribbon in a flower. I mean, is that crafty?
There you go.
Thank you.
How difficult was that?
But I'm going, okay, now what am I going to do? Yeah.
And I just put a little bit of ribbon on this card because it already had a lot of decoration on it. So I decided to keep it a little bit of simple and put a little bit of lace on it. And I'm going to take the envelope to match this other card I'm making. And there's a whole lot there. I have my granddaughter, my younger granddaughter, Kinsey, had found out that I liked stamps, and so she proceeded out of her own pocket to buy me a couple stamps.
Oh wow! Stamps used to be a big thing. That was like a big.
That was a very big thing.
Trend or whatever that people would do and make all their cards. I mean, these are so cute.
I've done Christmas cards, and I have a girlfriend up in Oregon who does a lot of card making. Yeah. And I'm sure she uses a lot of stamps too. She makes beautiful cards. She does all the fancy cuttings and
stuff.
stuff.
How many cards have you already made over there?
I'm working on my second one.
Okay, and I have a ribbon and a flower.
Again, it is just okay. You're talking, I'm playing.
Oh, okay.
So that's part of the difference.
Okay.
Too.
Well, okay. There you go. I'll take that.
And then I'm going to still put a little bit more on here, but I did decorate the envelope with the matching cutting of the ribbon. Again, why not decorate the envelope to go along with what you're making? Though this isn't quite finished, but I like the general idea.
It's very cute.
And it's just something simple, and it doesn't take a lot. As you can see, there's just a whole lot here to do.
Yes.
A whole lot to play with.
Let me get the glue out. But no, I agree. And having different groups of friends, and this is one of the things too that I love about our organization is that because we have teens from different schools and different backgrounds, and putting them in these different like
situations.
If they're situations and different opportunities of serving together, they've gotten to know each other and have become friends, and so you widen your bubble. You know, you expand your bubble when you start meeting people.
I like the way you put that. Yeah. Widen the bubble. I like that.
Well, let me tell you, my bubble used to be very small, and I wouldn't venture far off of the northeast, like little bubble of my house. And now here I am. I'm cruising the Southwest all the time, and I get teased about that daily. That I'm always hanging out in the Southwest, but my bubble has really expanded because I now am friends with all these people that I would never known or never met if I had stayed in my bubble. So, and I think the kids see that too. And not only we're doing a mentorship program at Kirk Elementary, and some of the other high school students that are mentors are from the Edison High School Key Club. And so our kids here, I was saying most of our kids are from, or most of our students are from Clovis North and some of the Clovis schools. They're now interacting with Edison students, so this is good on top of meeting all the kids at Kirk. So it's nice. I feel like it makes the world a nicer place when you get to know.
Bigger too.
It does, and I always say my vision is if the more we expand and get to know people in different areas of our city, if our kids are out at River Park or at Fashion Fair or whatever, instead of it just being unknowns, it's like, oh hey, like they knew each other from something that the mentorship or some other opportunity that they did together, and it just makes the world a nicer place when you know people and just widen your horizons.
I love this stamp. It says special. Here's a card, not an email, not a text, but a real card.
Okay, look how fancy I am with my
envelope. That's great, Jenny.
Wow.
She did great.
I'm so crafty.
You can craft. We need to take a short break. You said you were crafty. Girl, you're doing great.
When you need to get fit, contact Gary Torres, IFBB Pro, specializing in weight loss. body transformations, and contest prep. Email GaryTorres5336@yahoo.com.
Clovis Community College may be free for you to attend. Call 325-5239 or visit cloviscollege.edu for details. We offer general education classes for transfer and short-term training programs.
Hey, I'm Chris DeVold. Tune in every Friday night on CentralValleyTalk.com when I bring you Sex, Drugs, Chris DeVold, where I'll give you 3 guesses on what we talk about. And I also vow to bring you 1 live local music act a week. So tune in every week because you never know what kind of music you're going to hear right here on CentralValleyTalk.com.
The Space Colony Journals are an epic tale of a family's struggle to survive. Meet the courageous women and dangerous men who dare to carve a home on the alien world of Vensug. Get your copy today. Available on Amazon and Gail Daly's FineArt.com.
You enter this door with expired tags. Beyond is another dimension, a dimension of regulations, a dimension of long waits. You have reached the registration zone. What looks like an ordinary shop is actually Mitchell's Smog, located in the heart of the Tower District, a few minutes from the DMV. Mitchell's Smog offers your vehicle a STAR-certified smog inspection. So remember Mitchell's Smog when you need to pass through the registration zone.
Contact Sarah Hernandez of June and Matt Photography to schedule your portrait, engagement, wedding, or next family photo session. But that's not all. Sarah is also your personal brandographer, helping you ditch the stock photos and get images that sell. Call 559-412-3721. Visit JuneandMattPhoto.com and follow Sarah on Instagram and Facebook. Give your child the tools to succeed.
The Yergubian Academic Center offers one-on-one and group educational lessons by appointment. Over 90% of our students show significant improvement in their academics in just 3 months. Students of the Yergubian Academic Center have gone on to UCLA, UC San Diego, Yale, Stanford, and many more prestigious universities. Schedule a tutoring session today. Call 559-437-3973.
CentralValleyTalk.com.
Welcome back to With Kaden on CentralValleyTalk.com and my guest, Jenny Garson with Teens That Care, and we are practicing as much as humanly possible social distancing, and we are making cards so that we can reach out to people who we are having to keep away from. And you also brought us some ideas. Make these cards, use stuff you have at home, and decorate very affordable, inexpensive cards, and then send them to the VA home, the VA hospital, the senior centers facilities, and just send words of encouragement. Let them know that they're not forgotten since they can't have visitors right now.
Yep.
Now, there we go.
I'm thinking for a vet, right?
That would
Is
be
that
perfect.
cute? I know, I like that. Yes.
And I thought, I'm going to make a silly face on this card. I've got some googly eyes here. Just having fun. Now, how did you get involved with Teens That Care?
Teens That Care kind of was a brainchild of a few of us. Me personally, my goal was my daughter to, before she left and went off to college and became an adult, to again have that love of serving. And she'd been involved in some different volunteer opportunities, and I didn't feel she was quite getting it. Like, I think she felt like you do this out of obligation, but you don't do it for the love of serving others. And I really I was struggling with that. Like, how do you get someone to find the love of serving others? And she had participated in a shoe drive, and which I thought was great because you knew the child. I don't think you knew their name. I can't remember. Even though we've done that before too, where you choose the name off of a tree or whatever at Christmas time, and you go and I would have her and my son. And
Heather, remember doing that when you were growing up?
Yeah. And then going out and purchasing for that child, and even though you don't know that child, you have a name, an age, whatever, and you're purchasing something for them. So we were doing this shoe drive and bought the shoes, and it was just one of those things, you kind of threw it on the pile and walked away, and you never had that understanding of
Extra
who's
connection
getting
afterwards.
Yeah, and so they happened to do a news segment on it, and with where those shoes were going, which ended up being at Kirk Elementary, and seeing the kids' reactions to a pair of shoes, and hearing what a pair of shoes meant to these kids, and my daughter started crying, and I'm like, that's the disconnect. She sees why we're doing what we're doing. Yeah, the stars. And so I thought that was my aha moment.
That's perfect.
That this is what she's needing, is she needs to see, touch, feel, talk to the people that she's serving to make that impact. And so me and a couple other ladies started talking, and we decided there's so many great opportunities out there for volunteering, and I know these kids do need to have stuff on their college resumes, but that was my goal personally, was to find things that the kids were able to really connect with the people and have that impact on their own lives. And so that was our goal, that when we started Teens That Care, that everything that we do and is really hands-on. We're not a child labor, set up, cleanup, come in and do all your grunt work for you for your event. It is truly about being connected with those people. And
These kids, though, do work very, very hard.
they do work hard, and it's not that there's not grunt work, there is sometimes, but they are really connecting with the people that they're serving, and it makes a huge difference. And they walk away from everything we do, and we always ask them, what did you think? What did you like about that? And sometimes, they're honest. They'll say, well, that one. And we actually there was times where we've been asked to be out in the Northeast area, and they didn't feel needed. I mean, the kids that they were serving out there, they were like, they didn't feel that need, where when we're in the Southwest, those kids are so appreciative, and any little thing you do, I mean, it's just, and so it's interesting to see the reaction that you get for different events. So you would think, oh, they're going to love this, but they do love really being out there with the community. And we do these block parties with bringing broken neighborhoods back to life through Southwest PD. And I mean, here we are, out in the Southwest and doing crafts with the children and families at these events. And that's what, when we do the crafts, it's not so much like, oh, here's your card. It's that, again, talking with
the kids,
these kids, talking with the families, and getting to know them, showing them, I'm interested in you. You matter. And we're out here not just for our own health, but we're truly interested in you. And I think that's huge, especially for some of these kids.
My little monster card. That when the kids did the suitcase drive for Cases for Kids, and they were gathering toiletry items as well and clothing items, two of the boys, because I talked to all the kids, tried to talk to them individually as well.
Yeah.
Called their parents up and said, I've got shoes in my closet that I can't wear anymore, and made them bring them in. I all of a sudden had shoes for teenage boys, and I was in tears at the end, because they were like, well, I didn't know that kids didn't have the shoes so easily obtained, and I was telling them about getting shoes for older boys was a difficulty.
Yeah.
And they were calling their parents up, clean out my closet of shoes.
Right.
And I all of a sudden had probably 24 pairs of teenage boy shoes, and I was in tears because the parents are going, I was doing something, but I was told I had to get down here right away with the shoes. And
our kids are very passionate. It's really, I mean, and it's very sweet. And I've seen some transformations too, where kids, including my daughter, that have transformed through these outreach and different opportunities that they've had. And it's really exciting to see, because again, when they become an adult, I never wanted it to be something out of obligation, or you write a check at Christmas because that's what you're supposed to do, or you give food because that's what you're supposed to do. It should be from your heart. And so, yes, and our kids have been so...
But they get to see their work. And that's where feeding the heart comes in.
Yes.
Because you get to see what your work means to people.
Right.
And it means so much.
Yeah. And they're doing an amazing job. I mean,
The
every
kids
time...
do.
because
You've got to follow them on Facebook. They are always doing things.
We are out there all the time. And what's beautiful for me, especially now, is I feel like we've trained them so well that when we go out to these events, I just sit back and I just let them do their thing, and they set up, they do their stuff, and they are interacting with everyone, and I don't have to be like, get off your cell phone, talk to these people. They are on it. They are so amazing. I mean, honestly,
they're involved.
They're
in the moment.
Our teens are just unbelievable.
Yeah,
And I was listening to their feedback, because I also have them write. I will ask one teen to write about each event for our newsletter, and it's really interesting to see their responses about different things that they volunteered at, and hearing about how much fun they had. And I said, and I always say, be honest. It doesn't have to be all flowers and rainbows and whatever,
because that's not always going to be.
But it is. It's truly. It's really sweet. We always say every time when we start getting the feedback, and I'm sending it to our other board members for the newsletter, we're all like, oh my gosh, it brings tears to your eyes at times, because it's like, oh my gosh, they're getting more out of it than even the people that they're serving at times, and that's what's, I mean, and it's great. It's really, really sweet. So
now that you said your daughter is graduating soon from high school,
yes,
are you going to continue to be involved?
Yes. And my son is a freshman, so I still have some time there. But no, I will still be involved. In fact, several of our board members, their kids are graduated, and they're still
like my sister-in-law Lori.
Yes, so Lori's still involved.
No child involved.
In fact, we have one board member, Brenda, who moved to Colorado, and she's doing it from a distance. So she's
she's still involved.
Yeah, she's still involved, and her daughter is she's an empty nester now, and she's doing our grant writing and doing different fundraising stuff for us, but she wanted to stay involved. So I think
mess up.
I thought you can mess up in a craft.
Oh, I'll come up with a way to hide it.
Okay, well, I'll just show you how beautiful mine is since you messed up.
There we go. We've got a veteran who's definitely going to enjoy that.
So veterans, please send me your name so I can send you a card.
I know of a great veteran.
Oh, yeah?
Yes.
Okay. Perfect.
And he's at the VA home.
Oh, yeah?
So, and I used to go visit him, and I can't now, so
yeah.
I miss him.
Perfect. Well, then give me his name, and then I'll send him my fancy card.
He'll love it.
Oh, good.
He's a Korean War veteran, so that'll be perfect.
That's sweet.
Okay, so tell them again how students can apply.
So you can apply. You can get the application on Facebook, Instagram, or our website. And applications are due no later than April 1st.
Okay, very good. So, and that's coming up like next week. So please, yes.
It is.
So please go on Facebook and see what they've got. There's so much for the kids to do, and there's so much for them to learn about. So please, let's hopefully we can get some parents who are watching this, and we'll pass the word on. And definitely, I want people to know just how great your program is.
Yeah.
And that comes out really, really light, so you might want to make sure it's on a darker background.
Then maybe I'll do...
Or use a darker ink.
Well, I have the black right here. Maybe I'll do black.
Okay.
And there is a $45. No, I take that back. I think it's $50 now. Membership, but if you cannot afford it, that's not a problem. Like we said, we never want it to be about the money. So, but what that includes though is your T-shirt, because we have a Teens That Care T-shirt that we wear during our event, so people know who we are. And I think we're including a sweatshirt. I should have probably looked at all this stuff before I came in. We've been having meetings about the next year, but I think you get a t-shirt and a sweatshirt. I think I'm right. And
buttons.
oh, buttons. Which one? This one?
The box right beneath it there.
And
Thank you.
and then we meet once a month and have a meeting. And our meetings are 1 hour. We are strict about 1 hour. We get in and out of there. We do a little bit of housekeeping quickly, but then we always have a speaker that comes in and speaks. And Kaden, you came out and spoke.
I came out and spoke, and
You
it was the
spoke,
same time when Lee Brand was there.
Yeah, we had the
so
mayor,
I had to compete
the mayor
against him.
Mayor and Kaden. But it's always great because we try to find people with organizations that we're working with or something that's timely. We had, there was a young man that died of a drug overdose a few months back, so we had a speaker come in and talk about drug addiction and his path and whatever. So we try to make everything very current and timely. The people that we bring in, or we bring in those that organizations that we partner with. We had Rodney Lowry from Fresno Police Chaplaincy come in and speak. We had volunteered out at Support Blue Run, so he came in and spoke, and he talked about
I know him.
yeah, he's great. The Resiliency Center and how we can be helping with that too. So I think it's important for the kids to hear like kind of the background too of like why we're partnering with some of these organizations and what we're doing and what. So I think it helps them, you know, have a greater appreciation for because sometimes like we go to these block parties and I think they go, I mean, we're just like, it's like a carnival or whatever. And having them understand, do you clean this off afterwards?
I will.
Okay.
Yeah.
Having them understand why we do that and why the police bringing broken neighborhoods back to life and Fresno PD, why they're passionate about outreach is, you know, more for, you know, calming some of those communities and having police being seen in a positive light. So even though we're out there having a good time, our kids are fed and they're having so much fun and involved in all the different activities that are going on out there. But there's a reason for all of that. It's not just we're just throwing a party and, you know, and we're out there to do crafts with kids. So I think it's important always to bring in those different organizations and have them talk. We had Davina Witcher from Amore, which is Granville's philanthropic organization, and that's how we got involved with Mendota. And she came out and talked about Mendota, their upcoming, you know, clinic that they're opening out there, and kind of the reason why we're out there and doing stuff with Mendota. So I think it just opens their eyes to really, I'm trying to see if I want, yeah. I'm trying to talk and craft, which is like, I don't chew gum and walk very easily. So this is like, you're putting me in a really hard position here.
Just go after Lori about it. Sorry, Lori.
But anyways, but no, and Lori actually gets our speakers for us, and it's always good. I think it gives the kids something to, I don't know, it breaks up the meeting. It's fun. We always have our pen pals. We have pen pals with Kirk Elementary students, so they write to their pen pal at the end of our meeting. But our meetings are quick, 1 hour. They, you know, we have.
And I can tell you from experience, the kids are focused when you're speaking. They are watching and listening intently.
It's a good thing you put that wax paper down because I have glue everywhere. I guess
that's why I do it.
I guess you're supposed to put the lid back on. Fun note, I was never crafty with my kids either. I'd always I'd let the Play-Doh and all that stuff for the babysitter because I was like, ooh, I do not want to do that.
My poor daughter and granddaughters have all gotten used to me
being crafty,
making messes. But my daughter is extremely crafty, and she doesn't see herself that way. But the girl got an artistic eye. I tried to get her to take drawing lessons at one point because she's got very good detailed eye, but she doesn't have the confidence, and I'm really sorry about that because she's really smart and she's real comfortable with this, but she's not as comfortable with the artistic side.
The stuff better not mess up my nails because now I won't be able to get my nails done.
Yeah, I understand about not getting nails done.
I'm like, oh my gosh. No.
Luckily, this is my natural hair color,
right?
so I don't have to worry about that part.
Yes.
But no, it's just one of the things that's, and I've always have said, I'm not an artist. I'm a crafter. Everywhere. And
you're gonna have to
we'll have to get some wax paper here, and we'll wipe that down.
It's like oozing out.
Sorry. See, this is part of crafting. is the mess. But sometimes you get a
that's why I
gift
don't
out
do
of
it.
it. You've got to be willing to have the fun.
But I do knit. That's my my
Oh,
new,
see,
yes.
now I don't know how to knit. I crochet, but I don't know how to knit.
See, I knit. I become an avid knitter.
Ah, very
Yes,
good. Okay,
yes.
so that's something you can teach me.
Yes.
Well, people have tried. I seem to have
no,
a
it's
mental block.
Well,
for it.
if I can do it, anyone can do it. But in fact, I'm working on a baby blanket for a friend right now for her upcoming grandchild. And I said, well, with coronavirus, it started off as a baby blanket. Now it's like it can cover their entire apartment because I just kept going. I'm so bored. I'm just like knitting like nonstop.
Well, there's another program that if you want to start with a new project called Binky Patrol. And they take donated blankets and, well, of course, Cases for Kids puts blankets in their suitcases. And the Binky Patrol also does
Did you buy it this
hospital
way?
stuff.
Or are you that like crazy that you
I'm a
organized
little
it?
CDO.
Oh my gosh.
OCD in
I'm
proper
sorry, it's like-
alphabetical order.
It's by color and I feel like size.
It didn't come that way. I literally did do that.
Oh my gosh. I was hoping you were going to say you
There's
bought
another.
it.
No, I didn't. See,
Someone has a
these little
problem.
wooden buttons came in a bag of like 200 of them, and I had to separate them in each compartment. It's all the same. Yeah.
Someone
Okay.
has too much time on our hands.
No, it's just it's my coping mechanism.
Okay. All right. If that's what you wanted. I was kidding.
Ah,
Sorry.
okay. Still
Sorry.
having a little bit of fun here.
Sorry. I've been cooped up
No,
a little
that's
too long.
fine.
I've been cooped up. Yeah.
No, I am not easily offended at all. At all. But okay, so we have been crafting for about 35 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And about how many cards did you get finished? 2, and third one's almost.
my
I
third
love
one-
that one. How
Okay.
you did the bling.
The bling
It's
and
5 o'clock.
It's 9 o'clock somewhere. I'm gonna put a little button because I'm gonna be super crafty and put a button on it.
And I think not too bad for, and we've been talking, not concentrating on what we're doing.
Right.
For about 35, 40 minutes. So, see, it's really not that difficult to do. And for somebody who says she's not crafty, has got some really gorgeous cards.
Well,
So
thank you.
consider what you can do with stuff you have around the house.
I'll be selling these now on.
What I've been known to do too is to take a card and I'll put like 3 buttons on them and then take some of my embroidery thread, string from underneath, and tie it with a bow so it looks like a little bouquet of balloons.
Oh, that's cute.
That's something real simple to do. And check out stores like the Goodwill and the Salvation Army. And they have all sorts of craft supplies. Check out Dollar Tree and the 99-cent store.
And Dollar Tree is still open right now.
Yes,
You can
it is
still go to-
still open, which is what I originally started for today, and then realized we needed to go into stuff that you could do to communicate with people that you
Right.
can't visit with all the time. That's beautiful.
Right. I'm a crafter now.
You are officially a crafter.
Oh boy. I just hope that I don't get to this level where I'm like sorting buttons by color and size.
Okay.
Someone
well,
save me if it gets to that.
Tell me the mission statement for Teens at Care.
Well, I have it
And
right
she
here.
brought it, so
but
I know she's got it.
I'll give it to you in a nutshell, just because, I mean, I could sit here and ramble it off to you, but our main goal is to do hands-on with the people that we serve, that we bridge our community and make the world a better place through our service.
And these are kids that are 14 to 18 years of age.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, yeah.
They do a lot.
They do it.
Has
like a
anybody
lot.
ever figured out how many hours you've got so far?
We have, I think, because this is our second year, and I think total through those 2 years, we have like 2,500 hours that we volunteered. Currently for this year, we were already like 1,200, 1,500 hours that they have already served. And we had so much more planned. March was going to be slammed with stuff, and it was like so sad when everything kept getting canceled.
Right.
But no, we are on the go all the time. We have stuff during the week. We have stuff during the weekends. There's never a dull moment.
So
Never a dull
finding
moment.
30 hours is not a hardship.
No, not at all.
And,
And even with 75 kids, like I said, we have kids that get 100 hours. So there's
I
never
have
a
met
lack.
a couple of those kids.
Yes. There's never a lack of opportunities for them. There's never a lack of variety for them. There's always something for everyone. And whether it be, like my daughter isn't big on like hanging out with little kids, but there's always different things you can be doing. So it's, I mean, even blanket making. We make blankets. We gave some to the Resiliency Center with Fresno Chaplaincy. We've given them to Molly's House, which is a sex trafficking organization.
Safe home, isn't it? Safe house?
A safe home or a therapy home or something. So we've given them to a Ronald McDonald House. We've cooked out at the Ronald McDonald House. So there's definitely something for everyone. If you don't have to it's not all about working with little children, because that's not everyone's game. I mean, there's things for kids that like sports, to go out there and play sports with kids. So we have a little bit of everything.
That's great.
Yeah. And that's my job. I'm the one that has to find all these different opportunities. So I'm constantly trying to network with different organizations and find different events that are happening and get us involved. So
well, we got to get them again involved with Cases for Kids.
Absolutely.
I'll be having a need soon.
Absolutely.
So I really appreciate what you do.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for coming.
Thank you for having me. It's been fun.
I appreciate it. We're going to take a short break.
Ghost Golf is Fresno's most spectacular family entertainment center. It's frightening how much fun you'll have on our 18-hole indoor haunted graveyard course. Skeletons welcome you, but watch out. All sorts of creatures may come to life. Ghost Golf is perfect for scary good parties, so book yours today. You'll get free plays at the Mummy Shooting Gallery, arcades, and air hockey. Check out our party and weekday specials online and like us on Facebook. Come play at family-friendly Ghost Golf. Good times will haunt you.
For all your real estate needs, call Julia Tadich with Clovis First, 559-323-2213, or visit clovisfirst.com. That's CLOVIS, the numeral 1, ST.com. Whether you're looking to buy a home or sell a home, get a loan, or whatever the case may be, call Julia Tadich.
The Saga of Bridget and Amanda by Carol Love Forbes brings to life the struggles of historical women in early America. Find the Saga of Bridget and Amanda on Amazon and Barnes & Noble and order your copy today.
At Laulea Travels, we strive to make your vacation experience as relaxing as possible. From the time you start dreaming about it to the time you're sharing your vacation photos with your friends and coworkers. Our vow is to treat your vacation as if it were our own. If personal service, attention to detail, and years of travel experience are important to you, then let Laulea Travels plan your next dream vacation. Visit lauleatravels.com or call 559-360-1933.
A dynamic litigator, in-tune listener, and forward thinker with almost a decade of experience, Nasser Nekumanish is a skilled attorney servicing clients throughout the Central Valley. When you need a lawyer, call 559-441-0114 and ask for Nasser Nekumanish.
Linda Lee Kane is an author of fantasies, thrillers, contemporary fiction, and children's books. Order a book by Linda Lee Kane on Amazon or on lindaleekane.com. Get twice the results in half the time. Call 559-349-7934 to schedule your appointment with Clovis Fit Body Boot Camp today. And follow Fit Body Boot Camp Clovis on Instagram.
Remember, when you're crafting, whether you're making cards or any other thing, it doesn't have to be perfect. I kind of covered up a mistake here with some buttons, but if you want something perfect, go buy it. But if you're making something from your heart, it's not always going to be perfect. And the person who receives your handmade piece of work is going to be very appreciative that you took the time to do it. So don't try to make it perfect. Just make it from the heart and your imagination. Now, social distancing is something we all have to practice right now, and it's not easy. Make some cards, get on the phone, send an email, reach out to people that you can't see, can't bump elbows with or do the foot knocks. This is just a temporary break. We're all going to continue on. And remember my 3 rules for survival, and right now I think we could really use them. Have that circle of friends that have nothing to do with your job. You got to get a break from the job. And that's where you're going to be communicating with them. You got to find something to feed your soul. Do something for yourself. Self-care. For me, it's crafting, making a mess, having fun. And then find something to feed your soul. And feed your heart, I'm sorry. You got to feed your heart. And that's where community service is coming in. For me, it's Cases for Kids. It's my work with Lions International. And our guest with Teens That Care. These kids do a lot, and they reach out to the community. So find something that you can do. Right now, there's a lot of stuff. Meals on Wheels. There's soup kitchens. And if you're worried about, or if you're in that classification, then reach out to somebody and ask them to help you. This is not a time to try to take care of everything yourself. So reach out, and you might be feeding that heart of yours just by receiving a little bit of help. Have a great Tuesday, and I'll see you next week.
If your home floods, who will you call? When your house springs a leak, it's time to call Clean Master Emergency Flood Service at 559-213-9430. Clean Master will be there in 60 minutes to start fixing your home. And Clean Master bills your insurance directly, saving you the hassle because you've got enough to worry about. Clean Master also offers carpet and upholstery cleaning, carpet repair, pet odor removal, and more. Remember, Clean Master Emergency Flood Service, 559-213-9430, and visit cleanmasterflood.com.
CentralValleyTalk.com, the coronavirus fun and food headquarters. If you're hunkered in your bunker, hungry and need to eat, there is an option for food in Fresno's Tower District. Livingstone's restaurant is open for takeout dining for lunch or dinner. Livingstone's is located at 831 East Fern near Wishawn. Call them up, place your order, then pick it up. Call Livingstone's, 554-9662. Livingstone's, behind the old Bank of America building in the Tower District, 554-9662.